Hi everyone, thanks for watching. In today's video, I'm going to do a get ready with me with my least expensive makeup products. So a full face of all my most affordable products that I have. And again, we have a little helper in today's video. So the first product I'm going to go in with is the Good Molecules Primer. This is their silicone-free priming moisturizer. This is such a nice moisturizing primer. I just take a little bit like that. Because I'm so dry, hydrating primers are typically what I use, but then I do have some larger pores in through here, so I like to go in with some sort of putty filling primer. And so for that, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I have quite a few e.l.f. products in this video. I love e.l.f. In Canada, you can buy it at the drugstore. I'm just going to go in kind of with that much. But what I find is that the amounts they have at the drugstore, the line is really limited. So I just order it online. So again, I'm just pressing it into kind of where I have some larger pores like that. And the nice thing about ordering e.l.f. online is that you accumulate points. They have I think it's called their e.l.f. Squad program. And so you accumulate points and then you can use your points for I think it's $2, $4, $6, $8, $10 off. So depending on how many points you have, you get a dollar amount off your purchase and you can redeem them. And so it works really well. I like their point system. And then also every time you shop, you get to pick a free product. So I tend to get all my e.l.f. stuff online. Okay, so that's my primers on. And then I'm going to use the e.l.f. sponge. This is not only my most affordable sponge, it's the only one I use anymore. So these are $4 or $5. You can get them in packs of 2 I've seen at the drugstore. I don't know if I've seen that online, but at the drugstore I have. So it's a great sponge. It's pretty dense. They do have a lighter pink one in kind of a hourglass shape that is softer than this, but this one has quite a lot of firmness to it, which I like. And then for my foundation, I'm going to go in with the Covergirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I have it in the shade 520 Fair. You do have to shake this pretty good. And it does have little white balls in it. I'm assuming that's the coconut, I don't know, but I love this foundation. So I just put some on the back of my hand like that. And then I'm just gonna dot it around. I do have a mirror over here too that I'm gonna be looking into. This is a pretty light coverage foundation. And then I'm just gonna bounce it in. So as you can see, that's pretty light coverage. Just sort of evens out my skin tone without being heavy, and I really like that for every day. And then for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. And this is in the shade Light Ivory. Now this is quite a full coverage concealer, so I just do a very tiny dot. Just that much. And I try to really focus it just on this inner corner and then slowly blend it out because all of my fine lines are back on the edges here, and I don't want to get a lot of product there because then it will look more wrinkly. And again, I just go in with my sponge. And focus it mostly on that inner corner and then slowly just drag what's left out. Most of my darkness is in the inner corner. And then for blush, I'm going to go in with the Flower Beauty Blush Balm. Yes, Blush Balm, and this is in the shade Pinched. These are such pretty liquid blushes. And again, I just take some on the back of my hand and then just tap it. This is such a pretty soft color too. And back in with my sponge and just blend it out. And then my most affordable liquid highlighter is by Revolution. Makeup Revolution London in the shade Champagne, and it's their liquid highlighter. I went online prior to filming to see if I could find it, and I can't, so I don't think they make this anymore. But it is a really nice liquid highlighter. They probably have other similar products. That's the only product I have from that brand, and I just put a couple of dots on the back of my hand. I find most liquid highlighters are pretty similar, really. And then I'm just gonna tap it in a C shape in this area. Okay, and then for powder to set everything, I have one of these giant tubs of the Coty Airspun loose face powder. I don't use this very often because the smell is so strong. And even opening it, what a mess. Take a little bit of the powder and just set mostly in my T-zone. It's a really nice powder if you can get by the smell, but it's very, very strong. Then for bronzer, I'm going to go in with the classic Physicians formula. This is the Butter Bronzer, and I have it in Sunkissed Bronze. It's another product that has quite a strong scent. I'm just going to take some like that and just a little bit on each side, and then put some of the product up here. And then go back in and blend. And then for blush and highlight, I have one of the new e.l.f. Bite Size Duos, and I have it in White Peach. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blush first. And these are quite pigmented, so you just need a little bit. There we go. And then a little bit of the highlight too. And then for brows, I have the Covergirl. It's the Ultra Fine Brown Pencil, and I have it in Rich Brown. And it does have a spoolie on one end. So I'm going to comb my brows up. And then it has a really fine tipped pencil on the other. So I need to bring a mirror in so I can see what I'm doing. Really nice brow pencil. It's easy to apply, it's quick, and it stays. So normally if I'm using other brow pencils, I'll go in with a clear gel after. I find with this one it's not as necessary. It really is a bit waxy and it stays. So it's a great product. I really like it. And then for mascara, whether I'm doing, you know, this video where it's a full face to my most affordable, or the next video I'm going to do is a full face of my most expensive, the mascaras would be the same, because I typically only have one open at a time, and the one I always use is the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. And I do go in with their primer first. So this is the Voluminous Base Eyelash Primer. And they do also have a Lash Paradise Primer, but I couldn't find that one, I ran out. So I just got this one, and it works really well. I like to go in with a primer first just because it tends to lengthen and really define those lashes, and then you can go in with your mascara after. I know some people don't use a primer, and I didn't for years, but it's a step that I've started doing recently, and really I find it makes a difference. I only do one eye at a time, and I try to go in pretty quickly after with the mascara, because if it dries, it's a bit crusty, and I find the mascara doesn't go on top as well. So that's one coat, and then I almost always go in with two. Okay, so there's one eye done and one eye not done. And I did get a little, this wand on this mascara is so huge. I almost always get a little bit of mascara on my lid. So I just let it dry, let it sit for a minute and dry, and then I go in with a Q-tip after and just quickly flick it off. Okay, there's two eyes done. So I'm gonna go in with some Q-tips and just clean it up. And then I'm gonna go in with some setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Mist Set. This is the small size. I think they come in small and large. It's quite an aggressive sprayer. Just let that set for a minute. And then I just take my sponge and dab over so that there aren't any big water spots. So it's interesting, some of these products, you know, these are all my most affordable makeup products. Some of them are just the ones I reach for over and over, like the Good Molecules primer. It's amazing. I really like that primer. Also the Covergirl Skin Milk. This is the foundation I use probably 5 out of 7 days in a week. I really like this foundation. And the Hydrating Camo Concealer, I use that almost every day. It's my favorite concealer. And then some things, not so much. Like the bronzer, this is not my favorite bronzer in my collection. I have an Hourglass one that I like a lot more. The e.l.f. Bite-Sized Blush and Highlighting Duo. I think for me this shade is just too much. And if I would have bought it in a lighter, more subtle blush shade, I would have liked that better. But it's fine, it goes on nice and even, no issues with that. The Covergirl brow pencil is great. You know, to spend money on a high-end brow pencil, I'm not sure there's any point. A brow pencil is kind of a brow pencil. Once you find one that works for you in the drugstore, you know, e.l.f. has one, NYX has one, Covergirl, they all have these micro brow pencils now. And then for mascara, it's always these two for me. I've tried high-end ones. These work great. No need to spend $30 when you can spend $10. So I'll list all the products and their prices down below. To finish things off for lips, I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip. It's really nice. I haven't been wearing lipsticks as much, so mostly I'm just going in with a gloss. I almost always prefer gloss because my lips are pretty dry, and I find glosses keep them hydrated longer. So this Colourpop one's really nice. So I will list all these products down below, but thanks so much for watching the video. Have a great day. Bye.